Homeschooling Mom 24 and Chaos Coordinator since 2009. I wanted to talk about my eating restrictions that I have. Years ago, we attempted a paleo diet. Long story short, it sort of helped me. I was always really exhausted, and I just thought it was because I did a lot, and everybody said I did a lot. I was like, okay, I don't feel like it's a lot, but I'm just tired all the time. I was a full-time working mom, 2 kids. I was never awake. It didn't matter how much I slept, how much coffee I drank, I was never awake. Afterwards, when we reintroduced sugar, it actually was really hard for me to eat processed sugar for a while because I would get such a headache. I could instantly feel it. I could tell my body instantly reacted to the processed sugar. Coconut sugar was fine, honey and syrup. Molecularly, they might be the same, but my body reacted to them very, very different. It was just too expensive to maintain. And there was a lot of foods in the paleo diet that we couldn't eat anyway because of my husband's eating restrictions. I have a video linked to that below. He has a permanent ileostomy due to surgery post-ulcerative colitis. My story is much less medically invasive. Mine is just more of a story of knowing that my body reacts to sugar. High carbs kind of put me in a carb coma. I always had headaches. I was just always so tired. We figured out through working through a doctor that is NAPRO trained. If you've never heard of NAPRO technology, there's a link below.
Editor Kim here. I also forgot to mention that we were experiencing secondary infertility at this time.
And they work trying to figure out the woman's body and figuring out what's wrong, why things aren't working, and getting it to work again. They're fabulous, and I'm very, very blessed where I am to have doctors that have been educated in that and trained in that and know what they're doing. Through some series of blood draws, said, wow, you're not producing any hormones at all. She got me on progesterone and estrogen, and lo and behold, I was a new person. I could not believe how good I felt. I was awake. We ended up getting pregnant with the help of HCG injections with our son. And then after I had him, I ended up being hospitalized afterwards, and my recovery was really long and arduous. And it was also in 2020, everything just seemed off. And I was to the point where I was exhausted again. And I asked to take the estrogen and progesterone again, and that still wasn't helping. I was like, man, here I am again. I'm absolutely exhausted. And it was to the point where I had to take a morning power nap and an afternoon power nap. And since my husband was working at home because of the pandemic, he was able to let me do that when I needed it. Every day was just trying to get to the end of the day so I could just crash again. We moved during that time. I just felt like I was asleep all the time, a walking zombie. And of course, everybody was telling me life circumstances and all this. It just didn't seem right. I know when something's wrong with my body. I've followed Our Tribe of Many for many years, and she's always talked about Trim Healthy Mama. I wasn't cycling again, and I asked my doctor, the progesterone and estrogen don't seem to be helping. What else is there? And she said, well, you could do a diet change. And she said, you could do keto. I've tried paleo and keto. They're kind of similar. It just didn't seem to work. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try this Trim Healthy Mama that this one gal uses. And essentially, the basic gist of it is a high carb, low fat, anchored in protein, or low fat, high carb, anchored in protein. And the carbs are good carbs.
Editor Kim here again, and I do this every single time I explain it, but just follow the visuals on the screen and ignore what I said.
And then you eliminate sugars. You really watch your net sugars. And so I tried that. It was just for me. And in the first day, I felt so amazing and awake for the first time in over 2 years. I decided that first day I'm never going back. No, I have gone back and slipped. My sister had a birthday the other day. I ate a high-fat, high-carb diet, and within an hour, I felt like I was hit with a Mack truck. I could not keep my eyes open, walking zombie again. For whatever reason, my body has just decided, sorry, Kim, you can't process fats and carbs at the same time anymore. My husband has also seen such a difference that he's dedicated to it as well whenever he makes meals. I know what works for my body now. I know what foods I can eat. But here's the thing, is that it's not a healthy diet for kids. Kids need a balance of fat and carbs. My husband, I really wish I could get him on board, but his diet is already so restricted. I don't want to push him to do something that is just going to make his life more miserable, especially when it comes to food. We love food. When you see our recipes and things, and I'm eating slightly different, or my husband's eating slightly different, it's not by choice. It's by what our bodies can digest. That is the story of what I can eat and why I eat the way I do. I highly recommend the Trim Healthy Mama. THM is what you can search for on Pinterest and on YouTube. Please remember that it is okay to make mistakes. The important part is that you learn from them. God bless.